In this video, I'm going to show you the steps that it takes to solve inequalities, where you're going to solve each inequality and graph the solution. So solving an inequality works generally the same way that solving an equation would be, except for because we don't have an equal sign, there's something that we're going to need to know when we multiply or divide by a negative. And we have a couple of those in here, so I'll explain those as we go. So just like we would solve as if this was an equal sign, I need to isolate my x term, and I'm going to do that by adding 16 to both sides. When I do that, I'm going to have 4x is greater than or equal to 48 here. Now if I divide both sides by 4, I'm going to have a solution that x is greater than or equal to 12. So my picture would be, I'll put 11 here, 12 in the middle, 13 here. So my picture here, what I would do is circle 12 and fill it in because it says equal to. And notice how it says x is greater than, so I want to shade to the right. For this problem over here, it's going to work really the same way. So I need to get my x term alone, and I'm going to do that by adding the 11 to the other side. Now I'll have 8x is greater than or equal to 72. And if I divide both sides by 8 to isolate my x, I will have x is greater than or equal to the number 9. So I'm going to draw a number line. I'm going to put 9 in the middle, a number bigger and a number smaller. Now 9 I'm going to circle and fill it in because it says greater than or equal to, and then I'm going to shade towards the right. For this problem, notice that again, we're going to do a similar step, but this time we have a negative x. So I'll show you what's going to change here. Again, I'm going to isolate this term by subtracting the constant to the other side. And now I'm going to have negative 3x is greater than 35 minus 8 is 27. Divide now by negative 3, but when you divide or multiply by a negative number, don't forget to flip your sign. That's something that a lot of people forget. So my sign is going to now face the opposite direction when I solve. So x is now less than negative 9. So here's my number line. Here's a negative 8, a negative 9, and a negative 10. And if I circle negative 9, because that's the number we're referencing to, I need to shade to the left. But this time I'm going to keep it open because there's not an equal to line underneath. For this question over here, I'm going to isolate my x term by subtracting 12 on both sides. Sorry, that's my dog. Okay, negative 4x now is greater than, in this case, subtract 12, so we're going to get 32. Now again, notice how I have a negative here that I'm going to be dividing by. So if I divide or multiply by a negative number, so this is meaning multiply. I guess I should have done the dot, not that symbol. But if you divide, don't forget to change the direction of your symbol. So in this case, negative 8. So now I'm going to draw my number line. I'm going to put negative 8 right in the middle, a number bigger and a number smaller. Now I'm going to circle negative 8. I'm not going to fill it in because it doesn't have that equal to, and I'm going to shade to the left. All right, here are our last two examples, just slightly more complicated. I'm going to start by distributing this 2. I'm going to have 2x minus 14 is less than or equal to 7x and plus 18. So now I need to solve like I have variables on both sides when I have an equal sign. And so I'm going to start by moving my x's. And I like to have my x's on the left. So I'm going to subtract 7x so that my x's are always on the left side. Now if I subtract 7x, I'm going to get negative 5x minus 14 is less than or equal to 18. So let me just fix that error I made real quick. Now I'm going to add 14 to both sides. And now we'll have negative 5x is less than or equal to, that's going to make 12, carry the 1, 32. And if I divide both sides by negative 5, I'm going to need to remember that I have to flip my sign. So it's going to go this way now. Negative 32 divided by 5, just kind of for reference as a decimal, is 6.4. So I'm going to use that as the middle of my number line. So 6.4, a number bigger would be, oh, this was negative, so I want negative 6.3 here and negative 6.5 here. So I'm going to circle negative 6.4 and fill it in. And then it says greater than, so I'm going to shade to the right because my symbol says go to the right. All right, here's one more. I'm going to distribute this 3 here. So I'm going to have 3x minus 27 is less than or equal to a 9x plus 39. Now again, I like to have my x on the left side, so I'm going to subtract my 9x. When I subtract 9x, I'm going to get negative 6x minus 27 is less than or equal to 39. And now what I'm going to do is add 27. So I'll have negative 6x is less than or equal to 39 plus 27 is 66. And if I divide by negative 6, I'm going to get x. Now flip the sign because we divided by a negative. X is greater than or equal to negative 11. So here's my number line. I'm going to put negative 11 in the middle, a number bigger and a number smaller. I'm going to circle the negative 11, fill it in because that equal to is there. And since my arrow is pointing to the right, I'm going to shade to the right.